All right, so here's another viewer question where Steve asks how I work with custom layers. So, let's have a look. Okay, so here's how I usually set all of this up. So let's actually start on custom layer 2. And here I will have, first of all of the shell drums, so kick, snare, and toms, and actually also the reverb. All of these go into the shells group. Then I have hi-hat and overhead, and these all go into the metal group. Then we have bass, and in this case I have 2 bass channels, so the bass player will play either 1 or 2. So both of these go to the bass group. Then these groups, the shells, the metal, and the bass, go to the drum group. And a few, in this case, kick, snare, and toms go to the smack group. And this is just a parallel compression group. So on custom layer 2, we have drums and bass. On number 3, we have the rest of the instruments. So in this case, I have 2 mics on one of the guitars. So these 2 go to the guitar left group. Same on the other guitar. So these 2 mics go to the guitar right group. And actually, this guitar player also plays acoustic guitar. So I have the acoustic guitar go into the guitar right group as well, because he will play either the electric or the acoustic guitar. Then we have keyboards and accordion, and same thing, keyboard player will play either keyboards or the accordion. So these 2 go to the keyboard group. And then the guitar groups and the keyboard group end up in the music group. Then on layer 4, we have all the vocals. So we have 3 backing vocals. All of these go to the backing vocal group. Then we have the lead vocal, and actually this is just a distortion plugin that I use as an effect on a few songs on this tour. So both of these end up in the vocal group. Then we have all of the vocal effects, whole plate, slap, and delay. And then all of this, so all the backing vocals, the lead vocal, and the vocal effects will go to the vocal group. So on these 3 layers, drums, music, vocals, I have all of the inputs. Then on layer 1, this is the layer that is kind of my default during the show. So basically here I have all the groups: drum, shells, drum, metals, the bass, the guitar, and keyboard, backing vocal group, and then actually not the vocal group, but the vocal channels for some reason. I'm not sure why. I usually actually have the vocal group here, but for some reason on this tour I don't. And as well, I have the vocal effects because I really work a lot with the effects during the show. Then at the end here, I have the left, right, the kind of, the output, the left, right output. So this is the layer where I do most of the mixing. Then if I need to dive deeper into some channels, I can just go to whatever channel I want. But then I kind of just return to the show layer because I like to mix this way, and in this way I have a lot of control on quite a few faders. But moving on, we have then layer 5, and these are, well, first of all, I have the house music and some pink noise, which and pink noise is kind of just for tuning the PA. Then I have all of my outputs. So starting from the right, I have the main PA, then I have subs, front fill, side fill, and if I'm sending to recording or broadcast, I have a matrix for that as well. So these are the matrices for the speakers. Then this is the VCA for all of these outputs. So if I want to keep the relative volume between all of these, I can then just use the VCA to turn up or down all of these with just one fader, or when the show ends, just mute everything. And this one is, well, it's really show specific for this tour, so let's just forget about it. Then we have all of the monitor outputs, and on this tour I have, first of all, wedges. So here are the aux masters for each wedge system, and then the VCA for all of these. And this is not really for level, but to just be able to mute all of the wedges in one go. Then over here I have all the in-ears masters. So these are the masters that go to the in-ears. Layer 7, this is all of the channels going to the wedges and to the in-ears. I kind of double everything. So I have channel 1 through 32 going to the PA, and 33 through 64 going to the monitors. So here are the music channels for the monitors, and then over here I have well, a few instruments, but then the vocals and reverbs, and these are just for the monitors. So on a typical day, I would kind of start the day on this layer and listen to some music and some pink noise, and set all of the relative levels for all of the speakers. Then on sound check, I will be kind of on for the PA on these 3 layers, and obviously also working with monitors. And then come show time, I spend most of the time on the show layer, and here I have most of the things I work with during the show, including the left-right. And if this is not enough for you, then you can switch to Mixer 2. Then you have 8 additional layers where you can place anything you want. And let's have a quick look at how to set all of this up. So say you're in the normal channel window view, then you just flip to the custom layers. And if it's not a blank, let's go for this one. So say you have some stuff on here and you just want to start with a blank layer. You can just tap on an empty channel strip and then choose clear page and press OK. And on here you just press on the layer where you want to place something, and here you can place all of the channels, all of the groups, axes, matrices, left, right. All right, I choose left, right. You have center, mono, cue any of the links or VCAs. So you can just set this up any way you want. The only limitation is that if I choose kick here, I cannot have the kick one more time on this layer. Then again, I'm not sure why I would want the kick a second time on this layer, but well, if I for some reason want the kick on 2 faders here, I can't. Other than that, you can also copy from another layer. So say that on this layer we actually want to have the show layer from Mixer 1. We can just choose this one, and then we have the show layer coming up on well, in this case, layer 6 on Mixer 2. And what else? Well, you can, let's copy the vocal layer from Mixer 1. Then you can optimize layer layout, and this will just move everything to the left. And this menu you will find by just tapping an empty channel strip. If you, however, don't have an empty channel strip, so in this case, you just tap on the top of any channels, then down here you have custom layout, and then you have all of the menu right there. All right, that's custom layers. Take care.